Good day and mabuhay, senior high school students. This is Teacher Jeff saying, today is another day of fruitful learning. Welcome to our new episode here in Philippine Politics and Governance. I know you are excited to know what topic we're going to tackle today. But before we proceed to our discussion, I want you to get a pen and paper for our short activity. I will give you 10 seconds to prepare your pen and paper. Time's up. I presume you already have your pen and paper with you, so let's start. I'll be showing you 5 pictures and I want you to guess what picture is being asked. You only have 10 seconds to guess the picture. Please write your answer on your paper. First, time's up. Second picture. Oops, time is over. Now let's proceed to our third picture. Next, for our fourth picture. Time is up. And last, our fifth picture. Thank you for your cooperation in this activity. Now, let us check your answer if you wrote the correct name of picture which I have shown to you. If your answer is passport, then you get it right. Passport is an official document issued by a government. This is used to verify one's country of citizenship. The primary purpose of having a passport is to allow its holder to travel internationally. Next, let's move on to the second picture. If your answer or if you wrote airplane, then you are correct again. Airplane is a flying vehicle. This transportation is used for us to go in different countries by air. Our next picture is visa. You are correct again. Visa is an endorsement placed within a passport that grants the holder an official permission to enter, live, or stay in a country for a specified time period. The most common visa types are tourist, student, work, and transit visas. Now, let's proceed to our next picture. If your answer is law or justice, then you are definitely correct. Law is a system of rules which created by state institutions, specifically the legislative department. Because of our rights, we have our laws. And the last picture is, yes, you are right, the Philippine flag. Can you now count how many correct answers you have? If you got it all, then that is perfectly awesome. But if it's not, that's okay. Maybe you can have perfect score on our next episode. So better luck next time. Taking a look on these pictures, what could be our topic for today? Do you have any idea? You are right. Our topic is all about citizenship. In today's episode, it is expected that after the discussion, you are able to explain the concept and importance of citizenship. Second, you will be able to differentiate citizenship and nationality. The focus of today's discussion is the fourth article of our 1987 Constitution, which is all about the citizenship. Let's begin by defining the word. Citizenship is a legal relationship between a person and a country. Generally, if you are a citizen of a certain country, you have freedom to avail the different rights, such as right to live, right to work, right to vote, and to pay taxes. Some Filipino have confusion about citizenship and nationality. Did you know that there is a difference between the two terms? Listen very carefully. We use nationality if we are referring to the country where you came from. For example, Jose is from Philippines. Therefore, he is considered as Filipino. Take note as well, students, that a person could be a national of one country and can also hold a citizenship in other country. For example, if you were born in Philippines, then your Filipino parents decided to live in United Kingdom or other country because of better living and better opportunity, then you have a Filipino nationality. You are also considered as a British citizen because you are living in their country. Now, let us discuss the modes of acquiring citizenship. There are two recognized forms in acquiring citizenship. First is by birth, and the other one is by naturalization. By birth is divided into two ways. First, the jus soli. Jus soli is a Latin term which means law of the soil. This is rule that the citizenship of a child is determined by the place of birth. Second, this is called the jus sanguinis. It is a Latin term which means law of blood. This is a rule that a citizenship is determined by blood relation. The second form of acquiring citizenship is through naturalization. But for the meantime, let us just part the concept and elaborate further later. For now, let's move on to the kinds of Filipino citizen under the Philippine Constitution. Number one is those who are citizens of the Philippines at the time of the adoption of the Constitution. Number two, those whose fathers or mothers are citizens of the Philippines. We usually refer the number 2 provision of the Article 4, Section 1 of the Philippine Constitution as the natural-born citizens. Why? Because these are the citizens of the Philippines from birth without having to perform any act or to perfect their Philippine citizenship. Now, let us answer the question, how can you be a natural-born Filipino citizen? Philippine nationality law is based upon the principles of jus sanguinis, meaning if you are born to at least one parent who is a Filipino citizen at the time of your birth, you are born with Philippine citizenship. Let's have an example. Loretta's mom is a Filipino and her dad is a British. Is Loretta a natural-born Filipino citizen? You have 5 seconds to answer the question. Your time starts now. The answer is yes. Why? Remember the principle of jus sanguinis? If one of your parents is a Filipino, then you are a natural-born Filipino citizen. Let's try another example. Vanessa is an illegitimate child of her Filipino father. Is Vanessa can be considered a natural-born Filipino? You have 5 seconds to answer. Time's up. The answer is yes. If the child was born of Filipino father or Filipino mother, whether the child is legitimate or illegitimate, still a natural-born Filipino. Here is the last example. Jay was born in the United Kingdom, but his parents are Filipino. Is he a natural-born Filipino? You have 5 seconds to answer the question. Time's up. The answer is yes. If the child was born in another country but his parents are Filipinos, he will be still considered as natural-born Filipino citizen. In the case of Jay, he is qualified for dual citizenship. Let us discuss dual citizenship later. The third kind of citizens under 1987 Constitution are those born before January 17, 1973 of Filipino mothers who elect Philippine citizenship upon reaching the age of majority. Under the 1987 Constitution, a Filipina does not lose her citizenship by marriage to an alien. Last are the naturalized citizens. Who are they? Aliens or foreigners can become Filipino citizens through naturalization. Naturalization is a judicial act of adopting foreigner and clothing him with the privileges of a native-born citizen. But they need to renounce their original citizen before they become a naturalized Filipino citizen. We have 3 ways to become naturalized citizens of the country. First is the direct naturalization, which is divided into 3 ways. Number 1 is the administrative naturalization. Second is the judicial naturalization. And the last one is the direct act of the Congress. Let's discuss administrative naturalization. This applies to native-born aliens who were born in the Philippines and who have resided here since birth. This follows Republic Act 9139 or the Administrative Naturalization Law of 2000. The second way is the judicial naturalization. Say for example, the alien or foreigner is not qualified for administrative naturalization, then he will have to go through judicial naturalization, which follows Commonwealth Act 473. The last way of direct naturalization is through direct act of Congress. This is commonly known as legislative naturalization, which applies only for aliens who made outstanding contributions to the country. The second way of becoming naturalized citizen is by derivative naturalization. By the word derivative is acquiring Philippine citizenship because a former Filipino parent who had been naturalized in a foreign country reacquires a Philippine citizenship. This follows the Section 4 of Republic Act 9225, otherwise known as Citizenship, Retention, and Reacquisition Act of 2003. It is important to take note that naturalized citizens cannot enjoy the following. The first one is having dual citizenship, and the last one is to run in any political position. Let us answer this question. What is or what are the effects of marriage to a foreigner? Filipino citizens who marry alien shall retain their citizenship unless they renounce it. Another question is, how citizenship may be lost? A Filipino citizen may lose his citizenship voluntary and involuntary. Under voluntary, which also called expatriation or naturalization in foreign country. Number 2, renunciation of citizenship. And number 3, subscribing to an oath of alliance to support the constitution or laws of foreign country upon attaining 21 years of age or more. Second one is involuntary. Under involuntary is number 1, the cancellation of the certificates of naturalization. And the second one is a deserter of the Philippine Armed Forces. Another question is how to reacquire of lost Philippine citizenship. We have several ways to reacquire lost citizenship. Number 1 is by naturalization. Number 2 is the direct act of Congress. And number 3 is by repatriation, or also known as the recovery of the original citizenship. Under repatriation or recovery of original citizenship, a person must take allegiance to the Republic of the Philippines. Sir Jeff, what about dual citizenship? Another concept to be discussed is about dual citizenship and dual alliance. Many of us are confused about these two terms. Hence, we will unlock these two concepts. Let us define dual citizenship. Dual citizenship refers to a citizen of two countries at the same time. For example, if you were born outside of the Philippines but your parents were Filipino citizens at the time of your birth, then you are already a dual citizen by birth. You no longer need to apply for dual citizenship under Republic Act 9225. The concept of dual citizenship recognizes that a person may have and exercise rights of nationality in two countries and be subject to the responsibilities of both. On the other hand, dual allegiance refers to the situation in which a person simultaneously owes, by some positive act, loyalty to two or more countries. And what the 1987 Constitution prohibits us is having dual allegiance, not dual citizenship. And that will be all for today. More topics will be discussed in our next episode. To check if you learned something from this episode, I want you to get your pen and paper again and answer these 5 questions. In these 5 questions, you only have 10 seconds to answer each question. Are you ready? Question number 1. True or false? If the child was born of Filipino father or Filipino mother, whether the child is legitimate or illegitimate, the child is not a natural-born Filipino. You have your 10 seconds. Let's check your answer in question number 1. The answer is false. Why? If the child was born of Filipino father or Filipino mother, whether the child is legitimate or illegitimate, the child still a natural-born Filipino. Question number 2. True or false? A person could be a national of one country and can also hold citizenship in other country. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is true. This is the difference between nationality and citizenship. Let's proceed to question number 3. Question number 3, true or false? Larry was born in the United States, but his parents are Filipinos. Is Larry a natural-born Filipino? The answer is true. And Larry, who was born in United States, is considered as dual citizen. Next question, question number 4. Yes or no? John Walter is a naturalized Filipino citizen and he is seeking to run for representative this coming 2022 election in the 2nd District of Pangasinan. Is John Walter allowed to run for any political position? The answer is no. Running in any political position by a naturalized citizen is prohibited by Philippine law. Next. Last question, question number 5. Multiple choice. What way of direct naturalization only applies to a native-born aliens who were born in the Philippines and who have resided here since birth? A. Administrative naturalization. B. Judicial naturalization. And C. Direct act of the Congress. 10 seconds to answer. And the answer is letter A. Administrative naturalization. And what is our basis? The Republic Act 9139 or the Administrative Naturalization Law of 2000. For you to understand deeper about dual citizenship, I want you to read the case article of Ernesto S. Mercado versus Eduardo Barrios Manzano and the Commission on Election with GR number 135083. After reading the case article, please make your individual reaction paper and please submit it to me in our Google Classroom. Alright, another fruitful day has passed. New learnings, new concepts, and new ideas. I hope you enjoyed our discussion for today. Once again, this is Sir Frias saying thank you for your cooperation and participation in today's episode, Hearing Philippine Politics and Governance.